Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it?
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires and goes! She hit it!
We had a belief that we could come in here and do this when nobody believed in us. That's all that matters. That's all you need, and you can go shock the world.
Pass to Clark. Drives in. Nobody stops her. Right-handed layup off the window.
She's going to be really damn good, I'll tell you that. But the thing is, she's going to have a target on her back.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's Boston. An and one. Clark step back three. She connects.
We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. Caitlin Clark is box office.
She's one of the most captivating figures in women's basketball. Scratch that, women's sports history.
Wheels around, evades Van Lith, and drains it! My goodness!
A dazzling guard with the scoring and playmaking skills to revolutionize the WNBA. Part Steph Curry with a dash of James Harden and Trae Young, yet a style all her own.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
She single-handedly shattered viewership and attendance records while bringing more eyeballs than ever to the women's game. This is the story behind Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Elizabeth Clark was born January 22, 2002 to Ann and Brent Clark in Des Moines, Iowa. From an early age, it was clear Clark had special athletic abilities. In addition to basketball, the youngster played soccer, softball, volleyball, golf, and tennis. But the hardwood is where she excelled. 5-year-old Caitlin began playing organized basketball against boys, as Brent couldn't find a girls' league for his daughter to play in. And almost immediately, her team started winning. By the time Clark started playing in girls' leagues, she had to play against much older kids just to find some competition, and she started generating buzz quickly. Clark received her first D1 letter of interest from Missouri State before she even started 7th grade. Her stock only continued to climb at Dazzling Catholic High School. According to Coach Kristen Meyer, Division I NCAA coaches were telling Meyer that the high school freshman was already good enough to play D1 college ball. They hadn't seen anything yet. Clark averaged roughly 27 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals as a high school sophomore, led her AAU team to the Nike EYBL championship, then won Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year in her junior season, during which she recorded a 60-point game that included a state record 13 made three-pointers.
I didn't realize how many I had, but I don't know, it must have just kept building up and stuff. I mean, I never would have imagined I would score 60 points, so I don't know, it's kind of unbelievable for me, but it's a pretty cool thing to do.
Her prolific high school career was capped by a sensational senior season that saw Clark average 33 points, earn her 2nd straight State Player of the Year award, and receive invites to both the McDonald's All-American Game and the Jordan Brand Classic. However, the basketball world outside the Hawkeye State would have to wait to catch a glimpse of the 4th-ranked woman in the 2020 class, as the COVID-19 pandemic led to the cancellation of that year's McDonald's and Jordan Brand games. After reconsidering a verbal commitment to Notre Dame, Clark chose to represent her home state in college, joining Iowa for the 2020-21 campaign. National exposure soon followed for Clark and the Hawkeyes, as no one could ignore what the newbie from Des Moines was doing. Clark's collegiate debut saw her pour in 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, setting the stage for one of the most remarkable freshman seasons of all time, man or woman. The teenager averaged an NCAA leading 26.6 points per game to go along with a Big Ten conference leading 7.1 assists. Clark's range and sheer audacity, exemplified by her 9.5 three-point attempts per game, stirred memories of a young Steph Curry taking the nation by storm at Davidson. As a sophomore, she led the country in both scoring and assists. During one scintillating stretch, Clark became the first basketball player in D1 history to record back-to-back 30-point triple-doubles. Midway through her collegiate career, Clark had established herself as one of the best women's players in the country and a future WNBA star. But it was her junior season that launched her and the women's game into another stratosphere. After dominating another regular season in which she averaged a D1 leading 8.6 assists to go with 27.8 points, Clark finally made her mark on the NCAA tournament, leading the Hawkeyes to the championship game. Most memorably, she recorded the first 40-point triple-double in tournament history, men's or women's, in an Elite 8 victory over Louisville, sending Iowa to the Final Four for the first time in 20 years.
You must be exhausted. It is the first 40-point triple-double in NCAA tournament history. No one's ever done it, Caitlin. How hard was it tonight?
When I came here, I said I wanted to take this program to the Final Four, and all you got to do is dream, and then all you got to do is believe and work your butt off to get there, and that's what I did, and that's what these girls did, and that's what our coaches did, and we're going to Dallas, baby.
By the end of that 2023 tourney, Clark had scored more points in a single NCAA tournament than any man or woman had before, while her 60 assists were the most any woman had ever recorded in a single tournament. The lasting legacy of Clark's 2023 run, however, was the unprecedented attention her performances commanded from a national audience. Along the way, many began to question whether Clark's growing fame and the newfound spotlight that followed were a product of racial biases. This tension boiled over in the 2023 championship game between Clark's Hawkeyes and LSU. With a Tigers victory all but sealed, LSU's Angel Reese mocked Clark by imitating the "You Can't See Me" celebration Clark had hit earlier in the tournament before pointing to her ring finger. The public backlash to Reese's seemingly harmless competitive ribbing only reinforced the narrative that Clark's whiteness aided her reputation as a media darling. Among the people to come to Reese's defense was Clark herself. Nevertheless, the budding rivalry between Clark and Reese proved marketing gold for women's basketball in the ensuing years. The hand gesture heard round the world was suddenly a topic of debate, not just on sports shows, but news programs in every corner of the country and beyond. Between that rivalry, plus Clark's quest to settle unfinished business as a senior, everyone was tuned in by the time the 2024 tournament rolled around. It helped that by the end of that senior year, Iowa was a top-seeded juggernaut, and Clark was a two-time National Player of the Year, coming off a season in which she averaged an NCAA-leading 31.6 points and 8.9 assists, while shooting nearly 38% on 13.6 three-point attempts per game. She also broke the NCAA single-season three-point record previously shared by Curry, and left college with the highest scoring average of any woman in NCAA history. Each of Iowa's first 3 2024 NCAA tournament games broke television viewership records for a pre-Final Four women's game, with an Elite 8 rematch against Reese's defending champion Tigers breaking the all-time women's viewership record that the Iowa-LSU final had set just a year earlier. 12.3 million Americans watched as Clark poured in 41 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds to vanquish Reese and the Tigers. Days later, 14.2 million tuned in to watch Clark carry the Hawkeyes past Connecticut in the Final Four. Finally, the full measure of Clark's generational impact came in the 2024 championship game. Though her 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists weren't enough against #1 overall seed South Carolina, a third straight record audience tuned in to watch it all unfold. With 18.9 million viewers, the 2024 title game was the first to outdraw the men's championship game, becoming the most watched basketball game of any kind since 2019. The Caitlin Clark effect was undeniable, and the WNBA was about to reap the benefits. The 2024 draft, which saw the Indiana Fever take Clark first overall, was the most watched WNBA program in 24 years.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
And heading to the podium, she is officially a member of the Indiana Fever after as decorated a collegiate career as we have ever seen.
With massive crowds continuing to follow Clark's rookie season on television, social media, and arenas all over the W. The Phenom didn't disappoint. Though her efficiency lagged and turnover issues plagued her all year, Clark averaged 19.2 points and a league-leading 8.4 assists to drag Indiana to its first 500 season and playoff appearance in 8 years. Clark's 337 total assists were the most ever in a WNBA season. She was the All-Star Game's leading vote-getter, teaming with Reese in the midseason event, and she became the first rookie since Candace Parker in 2008 to be selected to the All-WNBA first team. The only thing Clark couldn't do in 2024, which saw her named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year, was make the US Olympic team, setting off a predictable media firestorm. As a collegiate baller, Clark's NIL deals already brought in millions. Her marketability grew exponentially as a pro. A reported $28 million Nike deal is the mere headliner, and a long list of lucrative endorsements and partnerships that help the 23-year-old buy into a potential NWSL expansion team. Clark's not the only one cashing in on her name, though. While she's had a Curry-like effect on the court, her off-court contributions to the W have been positively Jordan-esque. Multiple teams moved their home games against Indiana to NBA-sized arenas in order to accommodate Clark Mania, with the Fever's regular season finale in DC setting a league attendance record.
You're a Mystics fan? Yeah. But I see the Indiana shirt, so what are we doing here?
I like Caitlin Clark more.
One finance professor and valuation expert estimated that Clark was responsible for more than a quarter of the WNBA's 2024 revenue, adding that the rookie's economic impact on the city of Indianapolis was $36.5 million. Clark's mind-boggling impact will continue to be felt in 2025, with a WNBA record 41 of the Fever's 44 games airing nationally in the US. It's no wonder Forbes made her the first basketball player ever to crack its annual list of the world's 100 most powerful women. Clark's name has become ubiquitous, but the criticism and tension haven't subsided, with many still claiming Clark receives more credit and fame than black athletes or ballers ever have. As a rookie, she was tested physically on the court while dealing with an endless barrage of such criticism often. Some of the loudest voices in that conversation have been that of her peers. Every Clark highlight, lowlight, or headline is a referendum. Such is the responsibility that comes with great power. And no woman baller, heck, few ballers of any kind, have ever wielded as much power as Caitlin Clark.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.